Hello everybody and welcome once again to Casual Gamer Oz as we near the end of our career on F1 2016 in our second career season with Sauber driver Ben Waterworth, of course doing a two-career season in the lead up to F1 2017. Then we'll obviously switch focus to that. We are at the Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez for the third last round of the season, the Mexican Grand Prix. A race that I did fairly well in last year. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about what happened in the last race at the Circuit of the Americas in the USA. Qualified in 13th, was satisfied with that. And the race itself got an amazing start. Found myself as far up as second position for most of the race until a bit of a battle with my countryman Daniel Ricciardo saw me run wide. He moved up into second. I still held on though to finish on the podium, third place. A very satisfying result for myself. Now we're into Mexico. Let's get into this. Of course, race last year I qualified in 9th place and got that pretty awesome podium that I was very happy with last year. And it's a circuit that I like. So yeah, a circuit that I've been to. You know, I was going to say that eventually. And I just want to send a shout out to long-term listener and first-time viewer here of Casual Gamer Oz, the Shedmeister, who I've obviously confused with one of our long-term fans of many of the products we've put out on the Oz network and anything with the word Oz in it, basically. Obviously, you're not Catherine. I've always gotten that wrong, so I apologise. You are a mystery fan who perhaps I don't actually know who your real identity is. Are you Granny Survivor, Shedmaster? Can you confirm nor deny that with me? But I appreciate your comments nonetheless, and the fact that you've found yourself over here after obviously being a fan of all the other products that I've put out. So I appreciate the support, and to everybody else who is watching these along the way. Anyway, let's continue focusing on the qualifying aspect here in Mexico City. Getting into this baseball section right now. I was doing quite well there with my pace, but now I've sort of dropped off slightly. I'm going to run terribly wide into that part there. And I got 9th last year, but I'm not going to replicate that this year, I feel. Nearly run wide there coming into the final turn as we cross the start-finish line and get 20th. Wow. And Jeffrey's happy with that. I'm not. That's very disappointing. It's the lowest qualifying I've had by look like since Hungary, 21st. So wow, that hurts. All right, so let's try and switch focus and let's try and bounce back in race day tomorrow. Okay, let's do it. Very disappointed with that actually. 20th place. Too busy concentrating on who the Shedmeister is. Jeez. I'm joking. I shouldn't diss our only viewer. Alright, so third last year. So we've been alright with the starts recently. So let's see if we can, obviously this very long straight here in Mexico. We've got a dry race, that's a positive. And obviously a third last Grand Prix of my career, at least in F1 2016. Now, as I mentioned in the last one, I'm going to drive for Toro Rosso in F1 2017. I think I might keep my same avatar. This ugly Joel Creasley looking guy. So we'll at least continue on that way. Alright, let's take a look at the grid. I believe the Mercedes in the front row, because we've got a bit of a battle now that Rosberg gained some points on Hamilton in the last round. He's got the pole this time around over Hamilton in second. Alonso, Button, the McLarens in third and fourth. I'm rooting for Team Rosberg this time around to try and get the championship again off Hamilton. Ricciardo, Verstappen, Vettel, Raikkonen. It's all in unison here. Bottas, Perez, 10th. Hulkenberg, 11th. Grosjean in 12th. Massa, Gutierrez, Magnussen, Verline. Generally the same order that you're going to get in most Grand Prix, which, look, I get it. It kind of is, I guess, usual as it is in a lot of the world of Formula 1, but it'd be nice to see a few surprises up there every now and then. Get a Manor up there in, like, 5th place or something like that, you know. Come on, Codemasters, make F1 2017 a little bit more unpredictable. That would be nice. Alrighty. For the third last time on this game in F1 2016, the lights are on and they're ready to go. And we are go in Mexico City. I've got the inside run here this time around, which is good. I don't have a Manor behind me, which is good. You can see them in front of me there. But it doesn't look like I'm going to get much of a gap coming into turn 1. Then I'm going to have to hit the brakes. So I was directed right there to signs, but as they move over to the left to give me some space. Thank you very much. I just avoid the Haas. I'm probably going to get a warning there. I did, but luckily he overtook himself straight away because I felt like I would have done some overtaking there. Thank you, Nico Hulkenberg, for letting yourself through there pretty quickly. And this is all ding-dong battle here. Gonna make up some more ground. Oh, geez, I've nearly hit the back of Vettel there. Managed to avoid damaging the front wing so far. Oh, goodness, Kimi's driven straight into me. This is a tight little battle here. Very aggressive driving from everyone. I love it. Bottas there getting a bit of a touch by Button by the looks of things and being forced wide. Now can I shove one up the inside of the Ferrari? I can. I'm going to run myself wide, come back onto the circuit, and I managed to make that move stick. Good work there by myself as I give myself some weird props. I've made 11 positions off the start line, folks. I'll take it. It's all about being aggressive. And we want to get some more points. It's what happened last year here in Mexico, because it was a wet race last year. As I knock over the bollard there, knock over the other one. I'm not sure if I tagged that one. But are we going to make it through an opening lap without damaging the front wing? Ricciardo must have taken the lead because he set the fastest lap as I go ding-dong battle here with a Ferrari. Who have we got there? And it's Vettel. I've already put the car into rich mode. Hulkenberg very racy between Perez. Just stuck behind Vettel there. And this is some good racing by the AI guys, I should say. Makes it for very entertaining for you watching at home and for me driving this car. And this Sauber feeling very good. It's a shame to leave it after 2 seasons. The developments are definitely working on this car. And who knows what else we could do with this car if we kept going. Said I might revisit this down the line. Maybe when we finish 10 seasons worth on F1 2017, we'll realise that I still don't have a life and I can come back to this. Who knows? As I managed to give you a bit of a semi-burp again. Apologies for my digestive system. I generally, go through these unedited to keep the commentary raw. I know a lot of gaming channels sort of go into these after they've done the race and commentate it and chop it down. I like to keep it live. It makes it more exciting, if you ask me. You get my reactions as they happen rather than knowing what's going to happen and pretending that I have to obviously care slightly. Now, I'm in 9th. I thought I was in 8th, but sadly I'm only in 9th. I shouldn't say sadly. I started 20th on the grid bed. That's a positive. As Hamilton now catching up there, it seems, on Ricciardo by setting another fastest lap. I'm interested, obviously, if Ricciardo's leading this one. I wonder if Rosberg's gotten ahead of Hamilton still for the championship. Because I think Hamilton could almost win the championship this round. I guess we'll see afterwards. Now, I'm nowhere near anybody ahead of me to really like a lunge into turn 1. But it looks as though I make a lot of ground coming down into the opening part of this circuit. And as I mentioned last time for the Mexican Grand Prix, and I'll probably mention about another 500 times throughout every other Mexican Grand Prix you'll eventually see me post on YouTube. It is a great track to go to. The crowd are just passionate supporters. And didn't get ticketed in the baseball stadium, but that's definitely where I'd love to go next time if I ever make it back to Mexico City for the Grand Prix. And generally, because it's a week after the US Grand Prix, it's a good double to do if you're looking to head to North America for some of the races. I actually really wish, I know in 2018 in Formula 1 they're having a triple header for the very first time. It would have been great if they could do that, say, in North America, have it Canada, USA, Mexico, all within 3 weeks of each other. That would be fantastic. And definitely something that I would love to do. I've been to all 3 Grand Prix. I've been lucky enough to attend all 3. And they're all very much worth a visit to. As are the Australian and Malaysian Grand Prix, the other Grand Prix that I've obviously, luckily enough, have attended in my lifetime. Alrighty. Let's see if Bottas has been overtaken by Raikkonen, and the two Finns are having a bit of a battle. We know that they generally like to get a bit close to each other in real life and have a few little off-track excursions. And as long as they keep having a bit of a battle with each other in front, it might cause me to catch up on them. But I think I'm kind of like I was in Singapore in a bit of purgatory here, that I'm not going to be quick enough to catch the guys in front of me, but I'm far enough the guys behind me that it's not really going to be that much of a danger. But look at this train of cars in front of me. I've only got one more lap to go after this. I feel if I had a few more laps, I think I could probably get all of these guys here, judging on how the car's feeling at the moment, but I think I'm just going to run out of laps. Go into this really fast sweeping section here in Mexico. Just hang on to it, Ben. You do well. You might get a run on Bottas heading into the baseball stadium here. You can shove one up the inside. You've set a purple middle sector. So the pace is getting real. You might get some DRS though coming into the main straight if you can just maintain this gap, which I think you might. Surely you're going to get some DRS. Just curb yourself a little bit there. Oh, I think he's going to drive away from you just ever so slightly. Yeah, 1.2 seconds. Sadly, not within 1 second enough to get DRS. But we're into the final lap. We're in 9th place. It looks like we're going to get points here as long as we don't bin it. Famous last words, as always, is the case here on Casual Gamer Oz. But I'll happily take points if I can finish in this position. So I had to cut the circuit there slightly, don't know why. Allows Bottas to drive away from me, and I'm surely not going to have enough to dive bomb up the inside yet. Not even remotely close. And sadly, I think 9th is going to be my finishing point today, unless something happens in front of me. And it looks as though I'm not actually sure who's leading the race, if it's still Ricciardo or Hamilton's made his way back up. But championship wise, I'm going to hope that Rosberg has found a way past Hamilton. So obviously only got 2 Grand Prix to go after this, Brazil and Abu Dhabi. So I get a little bit slidey coming out of the corner there. I'm not going to be close enough to Valtteri unless I completely bin my race here, but I'm not going to. Drive around here, check out the streamers going off. Who's going to win it? Is it a Danny Rick? It's a Danny Rick victory. Australia still win the Grand Prix. Congratulations, Danny Rick, as I'll gladly take my 9th. Points, I'll do it. 2 consecutive points finishes for me after the podium in the USA. And if you take out those 2 DNFs in Malaysia and Singapore, my last 6 Grand Prix finishes have all been points finishes, so we'll take it. Now, how did the Rosberg-Hamilton battle go? Oh no, Hamilton got ahead. He's at, well, it's not the championship, because we haven't seen him doing his doughies. But we'll see how that goes out. Let's just take a look. I want to take a look at the replay here, because we had some great battles going on at the beginning. It was really, really great racing. And we'll see how this fared. I think I lost. I probably could have gotten some more positions. Because if you watch here, I'm hovering behind this Toro Rosso, who didn't really give me a gap, and I've had to sort of hit the brakes slightly before then they eventually all moved to the left to allow me some space. Hitting that brake sort of lost me some momentum, but as I come into this, nearly hit the Haas, go off circuit. Now, I actually wasn't ahead of Hulkenberg there, but I got the warning. Still didn't get anything more than that. Now, just wheel-to-wheel racing coming into the opening corners here. And I'm going to be banging wheels there with the Williams. And cut between him, if you don't mind. The Force Indias are mine for the taking. Then I get up close and personal with Raikkonen there. And then Vettel to the right of me. Oh, I nearly get squeezed by both the Ferraris there. Very lucky not to lose a front wing in that incident. And very lucky again there not to lose a front wing. And good racing going on by everyone there, that nobody's taking me out or anything along those lines. I finally get past the Ferrari, and that is me for the rest of the race. There you go. Okay, Ricciardo wins. Grid, 5th position on the grid, and he managed to get to the lead. Fantastic. Hamilton second, Rosberg, Verstappen, Alonso, Button, Raikkonen, Bottas, myself, and Perez. Now, if we go into the championship, with 2 rounds remaining, Rosberg needs to outscore Hamilton by 9 points going into that Brazilian Grand Prix to keep it alive going into Abu Dhabi. Ricciardo, well, it looks like as though he's got 3rd locked away, all but assured there. Alonso, Button, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Vettel dropping down to 8th place, which, again, look at the amount of points he scored. It's very tight in that midsection. I'm the best of the rest, 72 points, and what's that, 27 points clear of Perez, so I'll take that. Looks like that's my position. And constructors, well, Mercedes obviously have wrapped that one up, but Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari all still battling over there for that 2nd place. Red Bull with the ascendancy there, and looks like they might end up taking that. We're in 5th, happy with that. Force India, Williams, Haas, and can Toro Rosso, Manor, or Renault get any points before the end of the season? We'll have to wait and see. This has been Casual Gamer Oz. Remember to like, subscribe, rate us, everything else in between. If you're the Shedmeister, reveal your identity and don't just say you're Batman, because I won't believe you. But we'll be back for the penultimate round of the season, Brazil at Interlagos next. Thank you for tuning in to Casual Gamer Oz, and good night.